Welcome to Day 73 of Future Business School's Daily MBA. Today, we'll explore Facebook's data privacy issues and how the social media giant navigated a series of controversies that changed the conversation about data security, user privacy, and corporate responsibility in the digital age. Introduction to Facebook's data privacy challenges. Founded in 2004 by Mark Zuckerberg, Facebook revolutionized social networking, growing to over 2.8 billion active users worldwide. While Facebook's success is undeniable, its rise has been accompanied by significant controversies, none more damaging than those surrounding its handling of user data. In particular, Facebook's role in high-profile data breaches, such as the Cambridge Analytica scandal, has raised important questions about data privacy, user trust, and corporate accountability in the digital economy. The core of Facebook's business model is based on data. It collects and monetizes vast amounts of information about its users, turning that data into targeted advertising. This business model has brought Facebook enormous financial success, but has also put it at the center of numerous privacy debates and regulatory investigations. Key elements of Facebook's data privacy issues. Cambridge Analytica scandal, a turning point in data privacy. The Cambridge Analytica scandal, uncovered in 2018, marked a major turning point in the public's perception of Facebook. Cambridge Analytica, a political consulting firm, was found to have harvested the personal data of millions of Facebook users without their consent. This data was then allegedly used to influence political campaigns, including the 2016 US presidential election and the Brexit referendum. The scandal brought to light how easily third-party apps could exploit Facebook's data-sharing policies. A researcher working for Cambridge Analytica created a seemingly harmless quiz app that collected not only the data of users who installed the app, but also the personal information of their friends. As a result, over 87 million Facebook users had their personal data accessed without permission. Facebook's role in this scandal was heavily scrutinized. The company's lax oversight of third-party developers, coupled with its failure to inform users about how their data was being used, caused a global backlash. Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg was called to testify before US Congress and the European Parliament, where he faced tough questions about the company's privacy practices and the steps it would take to prevent future abuses. Data collection practices and user consent. Facebook's data collection practices have long been a source of concern. The company gathers information not only from users, but also from non-users through its extensive web tracking tools, such as Facebook Pixel and social media plugins embedded in third-party websites. This raises ethical questions about consent and whether users fully understand how much of their data is being collected and shared with advertisers. The complexity of Facebook's privacy settings has been criticized for making it difficult for users to protect their data. Although Facebook has made efforts to improve transparency by offering more granular privacy controls, many argue that the default settings favor data sharing, which benefits Facebook's advertising model. The challenge is balancing the company's need for data to fuel its business with users' rights to privacy and informed consent. Facebook's response to privacy controversies. In the wake of the Cambridge Analytica scandal and subsequent privacy concerns, Facebook has taken several steps to regain user trust and address the issues in its data management practices. Platform changes. Facebook revised its API policies to restrict access to user data for third-party developers. It introduced more stringent vetting processes for apps and limited the amount of data that could be collected without explicit user permission. The company also increased transparency around what data is shared with third parties and how users can control it. Off Facebook Activity Tool. In 2020, Facebook launched the Off Facebook Activity Tool, which allows users to see and manage the data that other websites and apps share with Facebook. This was a significant move toward giving users more control over their personal information. Increased security measures. Facebook invested heavily in data security, including better encryption, more robust cybersecurity teams, and enhanced protections against unauthorized access to data. This was crucial in the face of growing concerns about hacking and data breaches. Public apologies and accountability. Mark Zuckerberg and Facebook's leadership team made numerous public apologies, acknowledging the company's failures in protecting user data. Zuckerberg's testimony before regulators and his promises to reform Facebook's privacy practices were part of an effort to restore public confidence in the platform. Despite these efforts, Facebook's response was often seen as reactive rather than proactive. Many critics felt that the company's actions were too little, too late, and that it had prioritized profit over user privacy for too long. Ethical dilemmas surrounding Facebook's data privacy. Profit versus privacy. Facebook's business model, which relies on collecting and monetizing user data for targeted advertising, presents an inherent ethical conflict. The more data Facebook can collect, the more valuable its ad platform becomes. However, this model also exposes users to potential privacy violations. Facebook faced criticism for its reluctance to fully disclose how much data it collects and how that data is used. By placing the burden on users to navigate complex privacy settings, the company created an environment where most people unknowingly shared more information than they intended. Accountability for third-party actions. A major ethical dilemma arose around Facebook's responsibility for the actions of third parties who accessed its data. In the case of Cambridge Analytica, Facebook argued that the misuse of data was the fault of the third-party developers. However, critics argued that Facebook should have implemented stronger safeguards to prevent such misuse in the first place. The question of whether Facebook should be held accountable for how others use the data it provides remains a contentious issue. While Facebook has taken steps to limit third-party access to user data, the scandal revealed significant gaps in oversight and raised broader concerns about data governance in the digital age. Transparency and informed consent. One of the key ethical challenges Facebook faces is ensuring that users fully understand how their data is being collected, used, and shared. For years, Facebook's privacy policies were written in legal jargon that was difficult for the average user to comprehend. This lack of transparency made it nearly impossible for users to give truly informed consent. Facebook has since made efforts to simplify its privacy policies and provide more accessible tools for managing data. However, questions remain about whether these changes go far enough to ensure that users are genuinely informed about how their personal information is being handled. Long-term impact of Facebook's data privacy controversies. Regulatory backlash. In the wake of its data privacy scandals, Facebook has faced increased regulatory scrutiny around the world. The European Union's General Data Protection Regulation, or GDPR, which was implemented in 2018, imposes strict rules on how companies like Facebook handle user data. GDPR has forced Facebook to be more transparent about its data practices and has given users more control over their personal information. In the United States, lawmakers have proposed several data privacy bills aimed at holding companies like Facebook accountable for their data practices. Although no federal law has been passed yet, the growing regulatory pressure suggests that the era of unchecked data collection may be coming to an end. Erosion of user trust. The Cambridge Analytica scandal and other privacy issues have significantly eroded trust in Facebook. Many users have expressed concerns about their personal data being used without their consent, and some have even deleted their accounts in protest. While Facebook remains one of the largest social media platforms in the world, its reputation has been damaged, and rebuilding trust with its user base is an ongoing challenge. Shift toward privacy-centric innovation. In response to growing privacy concerns, Facebook has started to position itself as a more privacy-focused company. In 2019, Zuckerberg announced a new vision for Facebook, which emphasized encrypted messaging and private communication over public sharing. This shift reflects a broader industry trend toward privacy-centric innovation as users demand more control over their personal data. Facebook's investment in end-to-end encryption for its messaging services and its efforts to give users more control over their data are part of its strategy to adapt to a more privacy-conscious world. However, these changes are still in the early stages, and it remains to be seen whether they will be enough to restore Facebook's reputation as a responsible data steward. Lessons learned from Facebook's data privacy issues: the importance of data governance. Facebook's data privacy issues highlight the importance of strong data governance policies. Companies that collect and manage large amounts of user data must implement robust safeguards to protect that information and prevent unauthorized access. Transparency and user control. Providing users with clear and accessible tools to manage their data is essential. Facebook's experience shows that complex privacy settings and opaque policies can lead to distrust and backlash. The need for ethical leadership. Corporate leaders must prioritize ethical decision-making when it comes to user privacy. Facebook's leadership faced criticism for not addressing privacy concerns early on and for failing to act swiftly in the face of scandals. Ethical leadership requires taking proactive steps to protect user data, even when it conflicts with short-term financial goals. Key takeaways. Facebook's data privacy issues demonstrate the ethical challenges that arise when corporate interests conflict with user privacy. The Cambridge Analytica scandal was a turning point that forced Facebook to rethink its approach to data governance. Transparency, informed consent, and user control are essential for building trust in the digital age. Companies must take proactive steps to safeguard user data or risk regulatory backlash and erosion of user trust. Thanks for watching Day 73 of Future Business School's Daily MBA. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and join us tomorrow as we explore another critical business case study.